Hey everybody, Shane here, Shoebox Legends. Thanks for joining me for a video today that I think I'll call Coming and Going. I have a lot of cards that I'm going to look at quickly that I just sold on eBay this past weekend. They did really well. And then I have a few new pickups that I want to look at. I think about five pickups on the baseball front, some modern and some vintage. So hang out for that in a minute. But before we get to that, I've done a couple videos recently on the mode that I've been in of condensing down my collection. You know, for many years, I've just been acquiring cards at a pretty incredible rate. And I always thought that as I got older, I would at some point condense down the size of my collection, use a lot of the cards that I'd accumulated, sell them and roll into some bigger cards. And I did that recently, acquiring two monster Aaron Judge cards that I showed off a while ago. And long story short, you can check that video out if you want. I sold 70 graded cards, and I put all the funds from that into just two Aaron Judge cards. And that transition from 70 to 2 felt incredible. It's what I've always envisioned. I've done it before along the way, but I'm more motivated now than I've ever been. So I want to stay on that train, and I want to look around at least once a week around here. It's a busy time of year for me, but once a week I can make the time to find an object or some objects in my collection that I want to get rid of to make space and generate cardboard capital. And I did that this past week. I looked at my 1952 Topps singles. Now, I picked these up down the street. There's an antique store a few miles from my house that for years had a discount card bin in the front. And they would always have these commons from 1952 Topps in there available for about $5 a piece. And every time I'd go in with my wife, I would pick out, you know, 2 or 3 of them that looked like they were in the best condition to me. They're not perfect cards. They're probably VG condition, but I think they display really well. And over time, I ended up with over 20 of these. And what I realized going through my current purge and reorganization is that these aren't really a fit for my collection. I'm never going to complete this set. I don't have any, desire to, quite honestly. It's just not my thing. And so as fun as it was to own these for many years, I don't look at them. They've sat in a box for forever. So I went through the stack. I determined there were 3 cards only that I wanted to keep, and there were 20 that I was okay getting rid of. Now, rather than listing all of these individually, potentially having 20 different winners, having to send out 20 packages, deal with all of that administrative overhead, I decided to put them all together in one lot and let them roll. And I started it at 99 cents, a 10-day auction ending last night, Sunday evening. And as I said, these did really well. So these 20 cards are heading out the door. We have Ken Raffensperger, probably my favorite that I gave up just because of the image. But again, you have to give up good stuff to get good stuff. And I'm not appreciating these cards. These have sat in a box in a closet for probably 4 to 5 years now. I'm not taking them out and looking at them. I'm not enjoying them. And the auction did well enough that I will certainly be able to put that money aside and start building towards a couple of the really big cards that are on my list. And that's my goal with these sales. I'm going to take all of the proceeds when I do these this year and set them aside in a separate account so that I'm not tempted at all. And then eventually, maybe in a year from now or next summer, hopefully go after a really big card or two that I have my eye on. So these 20 are going to get taped up, securely packaged. This one is a dupe. There are 2 Bill Howertons in the lot, and sent out the door as soon as we finished the video today. But I figured I would document them quickly just as evidence of what I had accumulated on the 52 Topps front before I decided to send these out. And I'll be honest, this was not my goal, but it just kind of proves that if you buy singles and you do it wisely over time, this is something I talked about in the Aaron Judge video, you can use those cards as equity. And these cards, as I mentioned, I paid about $5 a piece for. So 20 of them would be, probably about $100 that I was into the slot for. Now, granted, it was years back and they've been sitting here in storage, but they sold for a few times that amount. So I did very well selling that lot. So those are the cards that are heading out the door. Now let's take a look at a few cards that have come into the collection because, of course, I'm still collecting. My goal isn't to stop buying cards outright. I just want to minimize the size of my collection. So we're going to start here with a couple of newer cards and then work our way backwards into some older stuff. So here's one that I picked up. I got an eBay gift card. Shout out to my mother and father-in-law. They provided me with a $50 eBay gift card for my birthday, which was earlier this month. And I wanted to kind of use it as like a wild card. If I get, free eBay money like that, I like to kind of take a random chance at something. And I picked up this 2021 Topps Pro debut, Bobby Witt Jr. Now, he's a player who I'm sure everybody watching this is familiar with, but at the same time, like many, I feel that he kind of has slid under the radar this year, having what really would be an MVP season if it wasn't for Aaron Judge just completely obliterating the ball, and threatening 60 home runs again. Were it not for that, this guy would probably be your AL MVP. For the Royals, just a tremendously talented player. I've picked up a couple of cards of his over time, but this one attracted me because I was able to get the seller on this card down to about $70, which means after my gift card, this set me back like 20 bucks out of pocket. And what I think is cool about it, it's a pre-rookie card. His rookie cards came in 2022 Topps, but it is on that flagship design. Pro debut is always on the same design as Topps flagship. It's Topps Chrome, and it's gold numbered to 50. And for me, that goes a long way. I love collecting gold to 50. Topps Chrome refractors, true refractors, gold to 50 are really unbeatable. And I think, he was in Pro debut the year prior to this, which was his first card on the Topps flagship design. But for whatever reason in that set, Topps numbered the gold refractors higher to like 75 or something like that. So long story short, I'm droning on. I think this might be the first appearance of Bobby Witt Jr. on a Topps flagship design in a gold numbered to 50 refractor. And I know that's kind of a mouthful, but again, this was not, I have $20 at risk on this card. And if I'm right that this is the first Bobby Witt, Topps Chrome gold to 50, not only is it the first, but it is literally the first because it is copy 1 of 50, first one off the print line. So yeah, just kind of a little bit of a random shot in the dark, not something that I would normally pick up or that you would expect to see here on the channel, but I'm a big believer in Witt. And this felt like a very kind of unique way to use that gift card and give myself something that I can, enjoy as I track the rest of his career. And a card that I think down the line may be worth something and that I may thank myself for picking up here in the summer of 2024, or at the end of the summer of 2024. Next up, parallel that I've talked about many times and an example of the friendships in our community benefiting our collections. Snagged this 2024 Topps Independence Day parallel, the best of the best combo card featuring Mookie Betts and Rafael Devers, two of my favorite guys ever to play for the Red Sox. Of course, Betts has moved on. Devers is the current face of the franchise. I collect both of these individuals. Player collect both of these guys, so it was a no-brainer. I'd been hoping to score either an Independence Day and or a Topps Black, but I hadn't scored either of them yet. And a good friend of mine, Eric, sent me the link for this, who many of you know, and was able to pick this up. I want to say this was like $15 or best offer, and I offered like 12, or maybe it was 20 or best offer, and I offered like 15, but it was incredibly reasonably priced. These parallels, always numbered to 76, copy 48 of 76 here, look better than they have since the first year of the parallel, all the way back in 2018. Really good job by Topps on these, and a huge thank you to Eric for the heads up and the ability for me to add that to my Devers and Betts collection for what I think is cheap coin for that parallel. Next up, another parallel that I've talked about recently. Really am trying to stick, focus-wise to just a few key modern cards that I enjoy and then expand on the player selection within those sets and parallels. And one of those, as you've heard recently here on the channel, are these rainbow foil board parallels out of Topps Stadium Club. They've been around for 10 years now. They look incredible, as you can see here, and they are always numbered to just 25 copies. So I snagged this Adrian Beltre. It's not my favorite image on a Beltre card. I'd rather see him hitting. However, this card went up for, buy it now, for $4 and like $1 shipping. And for a Beltre Hall of Famer, numbered to 25 of maybe arguably my favorite modern parallel, certainly in the mix anyway, just could not pass up this card at that price point. A fantastic, fantastic Beltre there. Oops. Let's lean that one and get a little bit of better light. Oh, It's not cooperating too much. It's a little bit bright in here this morning, but you've seen those before and they look incredible. I have an autographed card next, and it's from my favorite set of all time, 1990 Topps. I'm definitely in the minority there, but I snagged one of these Archive Signature Series autos featuring the Fred Lynn Turn Back the Clock from the 75 Topps set. This features, of course, a Lynn card that doesn't exist. His rookie card in 75 Topps was not a full-size card like this. I wish that it was, but he was on a 4-player, multiplayer rookie and just had a little square in the upper right for himself. But on the Turn Back the Clock, they blew it out and created kind of a fictitious full-size Fred Lynn card, what it would have looked like. This copy was bought back, issued in 2023 in the Archive Signature Series release, and was autographed by Fred himself, by the man himself. Great bold auto there. And what's cool about this, it's already been broken out of the one-touch magnetic, which is how I have most of these stored in my collection. However, I think I need this card for my 1990 Topps buyback set build. So this will likely be going right into a binder after today's video. And then the final card, I'll probably put something about this in the title maybe, but I got my first Veni. Everybody's talking about these, the Topps Venezuela issues from the 60s. And I don't know if they go into the 70s, but I've never owned one. I've always been intrigued by them. I think actually I may have one other now that I say it. But anyway, got one recently that I'm really proud of. It's beat to hell like many of them are, but this card was $5. And I thought, this Tommy Harper with the Reds. I love 64 Topps. I love the All-Star Rookie Trophy that existed around this time period. And this was just too good to pass up. Is it beat? Yes, it has rounded corners. It's, wrinkled. It's got a little surface creasing on it, but it looks amazing and it's intact. The back, let me take this out of the top loader here, but it doesn't even have, glue on it or paper loss or anything. It's really intact. And of course, that epic dark black back, which looks incredible, makes these easily identifiable from 1964 Topps. So there is something that you don't see very often here on the channel, a Topps Venezuela card. And that's also going to be the final card in today's video. It took a little bit longer than I intended to here, but some 52 Topps going out the door and funding some future big cards here on the channel. And then a handful of bargain discount pickups. Once again, shout out to my mother-in-law for the eBay gift card. She doesn't watch the channel, but I got to give credit where credit's due. And thanks to all of you for stopping by to check out these pickups. Hope you saw something that interested you. And as you know, I'll be back soon with more content. Till then, enjoy the hobby. Take care.